the next segment on the show is respecting people's decisions when they leave, okay? Because I've seen so many people come in and out of Sendai like there's no tomorrow, okay? And if you've got any concerns or if you're upset, like I was last week before I did the show, talk to the manager. He's my outsider.
Yeah, it's definitely important to voice how you feel and not just keep it all inside. But at the same time, as Barry said, it's important to respect when people leave to progress their career or move to a place that works better for them.
Which is closer to their home, because believe you me, some people get stuck in traffic to come here, and let me tell you, it is a big nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Now, there's nothing worse than having to be stuck in traffic, viewers out there. But at the same time, okay, it is also important not to criticize anybody because they are leaving here, because it may put the person down, okay, and make them feel upset, and then you're all upset, and then that won't do. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's important to respect when people come to work, and also when they choose to leave, because they're not choosing to leave as kind of to make anyone else feel bad. They're just doing it so that they feel like their lives will be less stressful like that,
and they won't have to be stuck in the traffic.
Yeah.
And they need to do a job that is closer to their home.
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's not personal, but and don't hold any grudges, because I mean, people do come and go, viewers out there. So, like I've just said, if you're upset about someone leaving here, like a certain staff member, not mentioning names, please do go and speak to the managers or talk to the person about how you have felt, like I did last week, and I nearly broke down, well, was in tears actually, but I soon realized why the person had to go. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was a really hard decision for anyone to make when they leave a service such as this. And we must never criticize. We should be grateful that person has worked here for so many years, okay? And let's be grateful and happy that they have chosen to spread their wings. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's definitely important to recognize that you have emotions, and obviously it's going to have an impact on you that someone's leaving, but also understanding that it's also a hard decision for the person. They're not just wanting to leave you, it's the job and everything that comes with it. So
and the driving as well. So in a heavy traffic, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to get here, and then you think, oh no, I'm not going to get here in time. Here's my outsider.
yeah, if you leave for work and you live far away from work, it can be stressful because you've left on time, but then there's an accident or something, and then you may not get paid for the time that you're not there, which is unfair, or just unfair on the clients if you're not there all the time on time. So I think it's beneficial for everyone at the end of the day. Yeah, just less stress for everyone and more convenient.
So, like I've been saying throughout the course on segment 2, please be mindful about how the person is feeling and don't say anything rude about the person leaving, because like I've just said, it could really hurt their feelings and let them down because they have worked so hard to get that job. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to be happy for the person, even if you yourself aren't happy. And also, you have emotions, but so do they. So it's important to not criticize them for it, because it's pretty brave to leave the comfortability of a job and move jobs. So yeah, just important to be happy for them and support them no matter how you feel about it.
And congratulate the person as well, because it is a way of showing respect for the person too, because I mean congratulating someone when they leave a job such as this, wish them well in their new role. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, exactly. I think you pretty much summed that up. Just make sure that you're happy for them and wish them well, and be grateful for the time that you did have with them and for the work that you did together, and yeah, just be happy for them.
And you can always contact the person via email. Okay, ring them up, ask them how they're settling in. Okay, but on the same token, let the person settle in to their new job first before you ring them or email them. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, just because they're leaving the job doesn't mean that they have to be out of your lives forever. So yeah, you can check in with them every once in a while, but also respecting that they have to completely move into a new job, so not smothering them in kind of their old life.
Not spreading the jam all over the place and then making the situation sticky for them because they could feel uncomfortable and maybe sticky, and it could be hard for them to get into the job.
Yeah.
Here's my offsider.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you let them have the smoothest transition possible, and to not have them think about their old job all the time, and to be able to fully immerse themselves in their new journey.
Because it's like having an old pair of shoes, isn't it? Because you can't always wear the same shoes. If they wear out, it is time to get a new pair of shoes, guys. The same with a car. If one car wears out, time to buy a new one. So, as the saying goes, you can't always stay in the same job. And another thing I'd like to bring up in this segment, before I forget, okay, think about what you are going to say to the person after they have told you that they are leaving. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, you definitely want to think about how you're going to react if that person leaves, and make it a positive reaction, probably to start with, just so they don't feel guilty or anything, because it is brave for them to come to you and tell you that you're leaving, that they're leaving, sorry. So yeah, just to be respectful of that and not have a really negative reaction because they did make you, you know, happy in the past few years that they worked with you. So yeah.
So I worked with my outsider for the past year and a half, and that's enough for them. So, and before we move on to the final segment of today's show, is we should consider ourselves lucky that we have excellent staff here at St. Tribes Camp looking after us. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, definitely should be grateful for all the staff, and just because maybe you worked with one of the staff more than the others doesn't mean that any of the other staff are less capable or less willing to have a working relationship with you. So yeah, it's important not to shut off because there's plenty of good staff here and we're lucky to be working with them.
And always give the new staff a fair go. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, everyone was once new, so it's important to recognise that the next person that walks in the door could be, you know, someone that you have a really strong relationship with and that works really well with you. So you don't want to automatically shut off other people just because you're focused on one staff member or focused on an old staff member and can't get over that. So it's important to give everyone the fair shot that they deserve.
And the very last thing is make the staff feel welcome, guys. The new ones here, okay, and for those that are verbal like me, communicate with them, give them a fair go, okay, because it is important, okay. We know how upsetting it is to lose a staff member that you've worked with, okay. I'm slowly getting over it, it's taking time, but as the manager said to me last week, it is not goodbye, it's just see you later. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to welcome all the new staff and talking to the new staff and having that communication both ways. If you are verbal or non-verbal, just to communicate with each other to understand each other's needs and why they're here and how they can help you. And yeah, once the new staff come and then they become old staff and then they may leave, it's important to respect that process and enjoy the time that you have together. And as Barry said, it might not be the last time you see them, so it's just to see you later.
And it might not be the last time because you never know, they might come back to work a few days. But we'll wait and see what happens and cross that bridge when we come to it. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's important to not completely shut off the person because they may come back, but also it's important to recognise that you can't be holding out hope for them to come back because they have started a new path in their life. So you don't want to kind of get your hopes up for that, but they may come back into your life in a different capacity, so you never know.
Well, they might come back they are in our lives, but they might come back in a new role viewers out there. So let's be grateful for the staff that we have here. That's the end of segment 2. The final segment coming up now.